Swear to God, man, I'm gonna fuck up. Hello.
Dude,
Hi,
so
welcome.
I have these people in my ass. What? Oh, we're live now? Oh my god.
Stop stealing my shit, Abe. Just like you foreigners trying to steal the white man's thunder.
I mean, I mean, Abe didn't time his one perfectly. Like with Matt, it's just so perfect that he just starts it before it goes live and just transitions that way. But anyway, we are live, and welcome to another episode of Late Night Take 3. It's a slow sort of movie season this week because we only got sort of the one movie, and I couldn't really think of a topic that we haven't actually had done before to title. So I thought, screw it, let's talk about the spring movie season, which is March, April, and May. And because why not? But before we get there, we've got a lot of stuff. But I've also got a panel here. I'm not just here alone. We've got Matt to that side. One of the sides.
Everybody, Misa back. I know you guys missed me last week, but I'm back. You know why I'm back? Because of lack of social life. That's why I'm back.
And also here we've got Abe. Abe, how's it going?
I will be lying to you if I tell you everything is okay.
But yeah,
You know, I'm way too dark right now.
That's always how you are.
Oh no, but like it's because I'm doing something in Photoshop. So. Okay, sorry. I'm good. Sorry.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so our main topic we're going to be talking about spring movie season, which isn't, but we've still got a bunch of other stuff to talk about first. Going to transition into everyone's favorite segment, talking about the box office.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So last week's box office, Sonic the Hedgehog stayed at number one, taking in $26.2 million. The Call of the Wild came in at 24.8. Birds of Prey.
No, but it's a new Harrison Ford movie, so I will.
Birds of Prey came in at third with 6.8 million. Bad Boys for Life came in at 5.84 million, and Brahms the Boy 2 came in at 5.82 million.
The what?
The horror movie Brahms the Boy 2 or The Boy 2.
You want me to be honest? I watched that film yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those that hates when people put their phone in the movie theater.
Oh God!
But, you know, I didn't have anybody around me like on 6 rows.
Yeah.
So I started playing Sudoku during the movie because that movie is boring.
But Abe, what was your thoughts on how the box office shaped out this weekend or last weekend?
How many? Do you know what was the drop for Birds of Prey? Which I actually think it's. I mean, it's not the best movie, but I actually think it's pretty good, and I still think this is way better than it's getting. I think the drop was like 59, if I'm not mistaken, right?
49.
49. Well, it's still a good drop, but still not that good. Like for a movie that opened that low, I don't think it's gonna break even. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna hit that 300 mark. Is everybody expecting, unless it has a Chinese release date. Call of the Wild, I watched the movie. Yeah, I thought it was okay. I think it made good business. I think it can hold well. And happy for Bad Boys for Life because that movie is great.
And Matt, what are your sort of thoughts on how the box office shaped out this week?
It's not shocking that Sonic's still number one. It's a silly, like, kids movie. From at least the marketing, I haven't seen the film, but it has all those appearances, and those are types of films that kids go, I want to see that, I want to see that. So that's not shocking. Call of the Wild being number two. I thought it was going to be number one and number two, just because it's a family movie. It's based off of a very famous book, so you got adults who might have read it when they were kids, might have read it to their kids, and they go and see it. I'm probably going to see it at some point because it's a new Harrison Ford movie. The rest of the box office, Bad Boys. I think we're gonna see it leave pretty soon because there's movies coming, down the pipeline. I'm surprised it's in for Birds of Prey, if I heard you correctly.
No, Birds of Prey is above Bad Boys.
Oh, okay, but never mind. Birds of Prey. Again, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't judge it. It's definitely not performing. I'm sure like Warner Brothers wanted it to. So I mean, there's that. Yeah, I don't really know what to say.
Can I say something?
Nope.
I don't know. I'm really a kind of a box office geek sometimes that I really get into those things. And I remember.
So you like to break down the box office? Is what you're trying to say?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing
can we talk about popcorn?
Sure. Malcolm, can you shut him up? No, but the thing is gonna say that people were. I remember reading an article 2-3 weeks back when Birds of Prey opened that they said that actually it didn't come like it's more of a problem with Warner Brothers itself because it has had many films underperforming since Doctor Sleep, and it happened with Richard Jewell. Like their marketing department is not doing a good job. I think a lot of people may get fired from that department, honestly, because it's a streak and it's not normal for the films. Like, I mean, I think we would expect Doctor Sleep, but like a Richard Jewell, which is a Clint Eastwood movie, which has a really normal audience, and most of Clint Eastwood movies perform the same, and that one underperforms. So I think it's a pattern that comes from the studio and not more like people don't wanting to watch Birds of Prey. Also, those trailers weren't that good, but I think it's and that comes from the marketing department at Warner.
I mean, I get that. I mean, the marketing for Birds of Prey was great. I mean, I don't think with this case the marketing was the problem. I mean, with Richard Jewell, I actually barely saw a trailer for it at all.
Of course, yeah, but sorry, yeah. Michael, but they're different releases. Like Richard Jewell is more for an American and like domestic wise. Because Richard, like as a Mexican, I told you, I rarely get like marketing for comedies, like for American comedies. Never get those kinds of marketing. In Richard Jewell is an American story like rarely appeals to foreign audiences. So I think it's more domestic.
But I mean, yeah, it's definitely one of those ones like I think
I don't remember seeing a lot of marketing for Richard Jewell.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those ones like. I think with Richard Jewell, I don't know when it was. I think it was released near Christmas over there because I think it sort of came near the end of the year, so that it could have just been buried and with a lot of other movies. But I mean, with Birds of Prey, it's one of those ones like the budget was about 84 million. Like its total worldwide total is 178 million, so it's at least made over its budget, so it's going to break even. I think with Birds of Prey, with the fact it was an R-rated movie, I think it's not didn't help it at all.
That's probably it too, especially when you have like what do you call it? When you have like Sonic and Call of the Wild and all that. But is what you call it? Is Bad Boys for Life? Is that PG-13 or R?
No, it's R. Really are.
Interesting. I think it comes down to the marketing then, because I don't remember seeing any trailers or anything for Birds of Prey.
No, also I don't think that movie needed to be R. I don't think there's like I've seen it, and I don't think there's anything in the movie that you couldn't put less blood in it that will change something. Like it will be a really hardcore PG-13, but I think I think R was unnecessary in a way. A lot of people say no, like let Carrie Young tell her story, which I think is the name of the director. But I think the studio made a bad call there.
But
I
think there's this weird thing where it's like The Dark Knight was PG-13. And that's a really hard movie that has a lot of adult themes and everything, but it's not R. So this whole thing of like, oh, well, let the director tell the story. It's like, yes, but I think there's a difference between let the director tell the story and then let the MPAA decide what they're going to rate it. Whereas I think with Birds of Prey, they went in with the notion of we're going to make an R-rated movie. And I think that's bad. I don't think James Mangold went into Logan saying we're going to make an R-rated movie. I think he went in going, we're going to make and tell this story, and then it turned out to be R. Whereas Chris Nolan made his movie, and it got PG-13.
Oh no,
And
but like it's
I'm
pretty
just saying
obvious. But it's pretty obvious they want a Batman movie PG-13. But yeah, I think I agree with you. They go with a predisposed of being R-rated when I don't think it was necessary because the film is really not that.
I also thought it was weird they wanted to go R considering how well Suicide Squad did, and that was PG-13.
Exactly.
Like, why would you not choose that dragon of a movie that was PG-13 that did really well? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it was just weird.
Yeah, no, I think basically they're trying to capitalize on Deadpool being successful as like, let's try an R-rated movie, see what happens. But apparent from what I've heard is I think they're looking at the new Suicide Squad making that as well. But yeah, I mean, for me, the big surprise was Call of the Wild doing as well as it did. But just because ever since the first trailer came out, there was so much hate on that trailer that they were using a CGI dog, and it looked boring. And for that, I'm surprised it made as much as it did. It could just come down to a lot of people just interested in the movie, maybe. But yeah, but anyway, it's time to look ahead to what we think next week's going to be. So opening this week, we've got The Invisible Man, which is the major wide release one, and then also opening wide, it had a limited release last week, but the Impractical Jokers movie is getting is releasing wide as well. But Abe, what do you think the box office is going to look like next week?
I think we're gonna see The Invisible Man going number one. I think let me just check the chart just to make sure I'm not doing these things senseless things. I'm sorry, Mark. Do you know what Impractical Jokes is?
It's a prank comedy TV. It's kind of like Jackass in a way. They just punked. They played practical jokes.
That is not what the show is at all. It's not like Jackass. How dare you?
Okay, so let me tell you. Number one, I think it's gonna be that movie that we were talking about,
The Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man. Number two, I think Call of the Wild is gonna hold better than Sonic, so I'm gonna go Call of the Wild number two. I think number three is gonna be Sonic. Number four, it's gonna be Birds of Prey, Bad Boys for Life, and number five, it's gonna be Practical Joke because I think Browns the Boy is not gonna make anything. It's gonna drop all.
Well, so for four, did you say it was Birds of Prey or Bad Boys? Which?
Bad Boys.
So you think Birds of Prey is going to drop completely?
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Oh, okay, yeah. It's Invisible Man. Invisible Man and top four. Okay, Invisible Man, Call of the Wild, Sonic, Birds of Prey, Bad Boys. Okay.
Now, Matt, what do you think the box office will do?
I think Invisible Man's going to be number one. It has a lot of good press going into it, I feel like, from what I've seen. Number two, I agree with Abe. I think it's going to be Call of the Wild. I feel like now that there's a competing family film, pretty much everyone who wanted to see Sonic has seen it. And so they'll go into Call of the Wild instead. But I still think number three is going to be Sonic. we saw with Doolittle around this time of year. These types of movies have they have legs. Number 4, I think it's going to be Bad Boys for Life. I just think the response to it has been way more positive than Birds of Prey. And then at number 5, the bold prediction, but I think Heat's got it. I mean, it's Pacino, it's De Niro, it's Kilmer. I think it's got it.
What?
I mean, Heat could get a random re-release. You've been wrong about random re-releases before, but we'll see how that plays out
Wait for
for you.
the 1 week where I'm like, somehow there's like a Fathom release and it does like huge money.
I mean, it is it is Heat's 35th anniversary this year, so there is precedence for.
By the way, guys, I just want to let you know tonight's episode of Late Night with Take 3 is sponsored by the Heat Blu-ray. Everyone should go pick it up. It's Heat on Blu-ray.
But yeah, for me, I went really different. At 5, I've got Bad Boys. At 4, I think Birds of Prey. At 3, I've actually got Call of the Wild. Just because I think the reviews of Call of the Wild is not great, and I think it's going to drop massively. At 2, I've got The Invisible Man, and I think Sonic has enough left in its tank to hold on to number 1 because it is getting some good reviews, so I think it could hold on. But then again, I'm never usually completely correct, but yeah. We did get a few trailers dropped this week. Well, not I say a few, but it was only really 4. We had trailers for Rumble, which is a new animated movie about wrestling monsters. We got a trailer for A24's Saint Maud. We got a trailer for Candyman, and we got a trailer for The High Note. Abe, any of these trailers catch your eye?
I think Candyman has to be the best one. I've never seen the original, but this one truly intrigued me. I think Jordan Peele is one of the most what we'll call incredible. He's 2 for 2. Well, 2.5 for me. 1.5, 1.75, and I didn't really enjoy Get Out, but that's a different story. In the horror business, I think he's gonna become a Jason Blum, James Wan, that his name being attached is kind of a stamp of approval in horror. So that one, I watched the Rumble trailer like 2 weeks ago 1 week ago when Sonic opened. Like it played before Sonic, and I was intrigued. I was like, "What's this movie?" I never heard of it because we usually get trailers before. And Paramount Animation like has made the SpongeBob movies, which I actually think are kind of good. They did Wonder Park last year, which was really bad. So I cannot recall any other Paramount Animation film, but I think they can do a good job. And The High Note and Saint Maud, The High Note is the Dakota Johnson one, right? I just don't get it. Not excited for it.
But yeah, for me, I actually really enjoyed the Moneyball trailer. I know it's a kids movie, but it's one that I've thought it intrigued me enough to want to watch it. And it's not just the fact it's got Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch in this movie as voices. Saint Maud looks weird, but fun. The High Note looks like a great sort of musical underdog story in which someone who tries to become number 1, that could be entertaining. Candyman, I loved. I've never seen a Candyman movie before, so can't wait to see sort of what happens. but Matt sort of stepped away from the keyboard, so I get his thoughts on the trailers later. But yeah, but we did get some movie news as well. But
Can
so
I come with something, Malcolm? I know we're waiting for man. I
Yep,
was thinking
you
about the
can-
High Note trailer, and it's something that popped out to me, and it's kind of progressive thought. Like the poster of the movie has Dakota Johnson in this moment, which I honestly don't know who she is, but we're gonna pull her name and say her name is I don't know her name, sorry. Whatever. And and she's playing these big artists. Trace Ellis Ross, I think it's her name. Yeah, Trace Ellis Ross. What happened to my face? You have to put it in background.
I know. I realized that
Okay, I don't know. I thought this was a biopic or something. I don't know. It's just weird. I forgot what I was gonna say honestly.
but yeah, we also had some movie news sort of drop as well. Chris Evans is in talks to be the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors. They revealed the Jurassic World 3 title. It's going to be called Jurassic World Dominion. And Matt's back. So, Matt, did any of those trailers catch your attention?
I honestly can't remember what trailers came out this week. Can you just give me? I'm sorry.
It's all good. Rumble, Saint Maud, Candyman, and The High Note.
I don't think I saw any of them. In all honesty, Candyman I'll stay away from because it's horror. So
Just don't say his name 5 times in the movie.
You need to start watching horror, so you can cry at night.
But they're we're going to go back into the movie news. But Chris Evans is in talks to be the dentist in Little Horrors. Jurassic World 3's title has been revealed. It's going to be called Jurassic World Dominion. Bob Iger has stepped down as the CEO of Disney, and Bob Chapek is taking over. Creed 3 is in development. Eric Bana is going to star in a biopic about Mike the Bike Haywood. There's a Sammy Davis Jr. biopic in development. Rebecca Breed's going to be playing Clarice Starling in a Silence of the Lambs sequel TV series called Clarice. Steven Spielberg is not going to direct Indiana Jones 5. It's going to be James Mangold is in talks to direct it. Alan Holman joins The Matrix 4. Cara Patterson and Lindsay Vanesca is joining Disney Plus's Turner and Hooch series. And Pixar Onward is not going to be featuring a Pixar movie, Pixar short. It's actually going to have a Simpsons short before the movie, all about Maggie. But Matt, what movie news sort of stood out to you that when you want to talk about?
the Indiana Jones news, obviously. I was really excited when Indy 5 was announced a while ago, actually. It's one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite movie series next to Star Wars. So, and I was excited at the prospect of Lucas and Spielberg teaming up again, and then Lucas seemed like he wasn't coming back, but then it was still Spielberg directing. But in all honesty, of course, Steven Spielberg is my favorite director. My favorite movie is Raiders of the Lost Ark. So obviously, I would have loved to have seen him come back. But with the person that it seems like could be taking over, I feel okay so long as Spielberg is like an executive producer and very involved. I think that particularly with Lucas not being involved, I personally need Spielberg there because he's so integral to that character and that world, and I want him to have his hand in the production of that film, particularly because this whole series has been it's kind of like how if they do Lethal Weapon 5, I want Donner to come back because that series is so much Richard Donner's because he had his hand in all of them. But I think James Mangold is a perfect choice. I just saw Ford vs. Ferrari 2 weeks ago. Amazing movie, but Logan is the one I talked about because what Logan proved was James Mangold could take a long-running, established franchise character and treat that character and that world with respect and make a great movie. So why should we think he would do any less with a character like Indiana Jones? And to everyone who's talking about, oh, no, Indiana Jones needs Spielberg to come back, like no one else could do it. I'm just going to point you to, just give me a second here. I'm going to point you to these. This is the complete series of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, which is an amazing TV series that I would suggest everyone go and check out if you can. And what this series proves is that the Indiana Jones franchise can continue without Steven Spielberg directing, and it can be fantastic because this show has some great stories. So that's what I would point people to in that regard who try and say that. I would definitely, if you're going to check out anything, check out Volume 2, which is The Warriors. It's a great show. So yeah, so that's definitely the one that's stuck out to me the most.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it said in the article that Spielberg is staying on as producer, which a lot of people seem to miss when I've seen all the comments. Like they're all moaning about the fact he's not directing it, which fine. But if he's still going to be on it, he's not. It's not like he's going to make that it's going to turn into Indiana Jones in space or some weird shit like that. In which they completely changed the character of Indiana Jones. But this is, I mean, like if it happens, James Mangold is a great choice because it depends on what they plan on doing. Because if the rumors are true that they're looking at maybe this being the Logan to the Indiana Jones series, in which Indy sort of is on the retirement track and is grooming up a new young mentor to take over, which is the rumors of the plot, which that I'm pretty sure I remember reading at some stage. But James Mangold works well for it, that kind of story. But yeah, the other one that sort of spoke to me is the fact that the Pixar's Onward is going to have a Simpsons short. Like I know Disney and that owns Simpsons and Fox and that all that now, but it's surprising to me that they would choose to put a Simpsons short in front of a Pixar movie. But yeah, Abe, is there any sort of news that speaks out to you?
You know, the first one that actually caught my eye was the one you just mentioned, because that one was like, whoa. Because I was thinking the other day, what show are they gonna put on like before Onward, and that's a nice surprise. You know, that last Maggie short, if I'm not mistaken, was Oscar nominated. The one about Maggie Daisy in the Dake or something like that. I don't remember the whole name. To comment on James Mangold directing Indiana Jones 5. Coincidence or not, I was thinking about that before those news broke, like a couple of days before that happening. So I guess it's the universe telling me I should start betting money because I can get some good, I can get some predictions with my thought. But you know, I think it's nice. I honestly I don't want an Indiana Jones 5. I think the first three are fantastic. I have never watched a fourth one because after those reviews and everything people have said, I'm not attracted to watching. Probably gonna watch it soon. I don't think Spielberg is interested. He pushed.
Don't let people deter you. Indiana Jones 4. I'm sorry, Kingdom of Crystal Skull is a fun movie, and Harrison Ford is still great in the role. Is there some silly stuff? Sure, but it's Indiana Jones, for crying out loud.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it probably in 3 years. But I'm gonna watch it. What I was, you made me lose. I think Spielberg has shown, because this movie has been pushed like, I don't know, 2 3 times. It was supposed to come out at 2018, if I'm not mistaken. It was supposed to come out. Then it was pushed to 2019. Then it was pushed to 2020, something like that, or 2019 to 2020. It's a couple, and now that Spielberg is, he made West Side Story before that, and if I'm not mistaken, there's this film I've been following because I love Mark Rylance as an actor. Like, I think he's just a fantastic actor. In this, he has this film with Spielberg that they it has been on the IMDb for a while, called it's something, the assassination of Edgar Mortar, something like that. I don't remember, but it's Mark Rylance and Spielberg. And, to comment on Mango, uh, does he have time? Because I was checking his IMDb, and I know he probably is gonna put Indiana Jones like the top choice if he really wants to do it. But he has like 7 projects he's attached to. He's even I don't remember that he had. Look, let me tell you a couple ones. He has 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I don't know. Several. One about Juliet, The Deep Blue Goodbye, Going Electric, Disorder. I know he's a he's becoming one of those directors. Like, he's kind of becoming a studio director, if you can understand. Like, he can direct those big budget movies, which are studio films, and he can deliver the way that
Yeah.
not all can handle these studio films and everything, these big budgets. And I don't remember more of the stories that you said. So
But yeah, I mean, if if James Mangold doesn't sign on to this, is there anyone who you'd like to see step up to direct it? Matt, let you go first.
Trying to think who.
sorry.
If Abe knows, he can go.
James Kasdan, he's the director of the Jumanji movies. I think those Jumanji movies are the closest we get to adventure films, because now it's like full action of superhero movies, and the Jumanji movies actually had a really fun action, and I can bet you 1,000% that he actually gets some of his inspiration for those films, like for Indiana Jones. I know they're probably gonna do a Jumanji sequel. Those movies make so much money, and they didn't spend that much into them. So James Kazan, I think is his name. I know his last name is Kazan.
Jake Kasdan.
Jake Kazan. Yeah, I don't remember. He's also directed one of the worst movies I've ever seen, Sex Tape.
Is he any relation to Lawrence Kasdan?
I don't think so.
Because that'd be funny, because then his dad would have written Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Let me check.
That would be funny. I honestly can't think of a like my choice, if you're asking me, would be 1999 Steven Summers, but we can't get Steven Summers from 1999 anymore, so I really don't know.
Oh, you know who else?
Jake Kasdan is the son of Lawrence Kasdan.
All right, let's go with him. His dad wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark, so
now those Jumanji movies make sense.
That's all right. That's my choice. Then.
Sean Levy, like he can direct. Who else? I'm thinking those people that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take a bold choice here, because I don't think there's any chance this one will want to do it. But I think Peter Jackson could do a good job of Indiana Jones. A 3-hour movie plus an extended cut.
I was going to say a 3-hour movie of Indiana Jones walking to a mountain, throw an artifact into it.
I mean,
I would actually love to see Harrison Ford do that.
I have something that
you have my sword.
I have something that could make sense, but I don't think like it will. Joe Colette Serra. I'm gonna tell you why. He directed Jungle Cruise for Disney, which is an adventure film, and if you stay on brand, he's also directed Black Adam, so that makes it less of a possibility. But I think.
But Jungle Cruise hasn't come out yet, so we don't know if it's good or not.
Yeah, that's why. But like, if the movie is good, I think Disney can turn an eye on him just to see.
Well, it's possible.
Yeah.
But he, as I said, is doing Black Adam, and they're shooting, I guess, now or next year. So I don't know.
But anyway, it's time to move onward and go into our the spring movie season. But so the way I've broken it up is I'm going to talk about each week sort of on its own. But so coming out the first weekend of March. Also, I'm only going to talk about sort of what gets a wide release on this day. So anything that was limited and gets a wide release later, I'm not going to talk about, just because it's not going to be out for everyone. So, Brian Nussbaum has an interesting prediction for an indie director, the Russo brothers.
I love what they've done with Marvel, but I don't think. You know what? You know who'd be great? Joe Johnson. He's a Lucasfilm family. He directed one of the Jurassic Park films. He directed Rocketeer, and he directed Captain America: First Avenger. He'd be great. He loves that old school that Indiana Jones. He'd be great. And he's already got a working relationship with Spielberg. So, he was Spielberg's choice to take over Jurassic Park when he didn't want to direct Jurassic Park 3.
But yeah, so the first week of March and releasing on March the 6th, we've got Onward, an A24 movie called First Cow, and the Ben Affleck movie The Way Back. Matt, what do you sort of think about these movies that are opening in March?
What were the first two?
Onward, and A24's The First Cow.
Okay, so Onward, I actually have no discernible desire to see, and it has a lot of people that I like in it, but I just I don't know. It seems kind of predictable to me, the story. The First Cow, I hope it's secretly like a documentary on Batman or something. And then The Way Back. I can't wait for this movie. It's my second most anticipated film of the year. Everything I've been seeing, it looks great. It's from the director of some of my favorite movies. So, and it stars my second favorite actor of all time. So, I'm really hoping it's good, and hope Affleck gets an Oscar nom if it's good.
And Abe, what are your feelings about those three movies?
Look, I really want to watch The Way Back, just because I'm tired of seeing that trailer before every single movie I watch. It's honestly every single movie. No, but I really like Gavin O'Connor, and I think Ben Affleck, I think he's a really great actor, and I think he deserves kind of a comeback after all he went through. So I wish that movie does well. Onward, I'm really excited about the film. I think those trailers have overwhelmed me. I really, really want to watch it. Since the second trailer, I was like, I'm on. I don't care what it is. I want to watch it by myself. I know that critics hasn't been that good in the reviews in terms of a Pixar film. They have such a high standard that a middle of the range movie is kind of bad for them. But still, I think I can see potential in that. And also, it looks beautiful. No animation film studio spends as much money as Pixar does or Disney Pixar does in their animation, and it just shows how incredible all the animation is, and I think it's worth seeing in the big screen just to appreciate that. So yeah. And the other one, I don't know what it is.
Even after reading the synopsis for First Cow, it's not something that really interests me a lot. But Onward is the one I'm probably really looking forward to. And I mean, when it comes to Pixar movies, I think they always look interesting and just they bring you lots of joy in the movie and happiness. And I'm kind of got mixed feelings on the way back. The trailers are not doing anything for me. I think it just looks fine.
What is your heart frozen?
Can it be like a 2020 Coach Carter, like 15 years later? That would be nice. That movie made me cry. Those movies make me cry now. That's a beautiful sports movie. Like they can be bad, but that speech the coach gives, like if it's a great actor, that's where you root for them, and you cry for
Ben
some reason.
Affleck's gonna get his Hoosier speech 100%. It's Gavin O'Connor. He quite
His
possibly
greatest speech.
the Herb Brooks speech in Miracle might be the greatest sports speech ever, and I know it word for word. I can recite it right now, actually. If
No,
you guys want to
thank
hear
you.
it.
No, please,
Huh?
no. Don't do it.
Malcolm, your show.
But
I can recite the Herb Brooks speech from Miracle if you want to hear it.
If Matt does that, I have to say Ezekiel 25:17 from Pulp Fiction.
well, no, because we're moving on to the next weekend. Opening up in the weekend of March the 13th, we've got the non-Marvel, non-DC superhero movie Bloodshot. The Hunt is finally getting released. There was a delay; it was supposed to come out last year. The Dave Bautista family comedy My Spy, and Christian movie I Still Believe. Abe, what are your thoughts on these movies?
I Still Believe, really a Christian movie?
It's about a Christian songwriter. It's a biopic.
Then I don't want to watch it anymore. I really wanted to watch it. The Bloodshot, it looks like a Vin Diesel movie that it's not Fast and the Furious, which looks like Fast and the Furious. I watched that trailer like it also plays in a lot of movies right now, and I have to say it just looks lame and stupid. And we're probably gonna watch it. I watch almost everything. The Hunt, that one is really the one that catches my eye because of the controversy around it. I want to watch it. I really like horror. I think I caught myself like being a horror fan. I watch a ton of horror movies. I don't seek it, but I watch the studio ones and Blumhouse usually deliver. Like they have a range of deliverance, but they usually are in the good side of it. Yeah, but My Spy, that movie has been pushed like for months. It was supposed to come out like in August of last year, and then got pushed to January, and then right now March. So, I mean, you tell me, and that's it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, Bloodshot is one that I'm kind of intrigued about because it's a superhero I've never heard of before. It just, and I haven't actually watched the trailer, so I don't know what it looks like. But it's one that I'm probably going to go in blind because I'm intrigued by it. The Hunt is one that I did see the trailer. If you sort of remember from when we're talking about it, sort of when the trailer came out. This one looks interesting. I'm probably going to see it. And this is one I wouldn't be surprised if it actually tops the box office this week too, because of this whole controversy of it being pushed. Might help it. And I Still Believe is one that if it comes out here, I might go see it because sounds interesting. And My Spy is a family movie starring former wrestler. I don't know what more to say. I believe.
Sorry, those trailers look kind of cute, but like it's the pushing that it gets me worried for.
Well, and I know that our former Take 3 member, but and still friend of the show, has seen this movie. And yeah, he says it's really not good. Apparently,
What
we know?
was he? I was gonna say you can't name him.
Well, it's Jacob, but I was
Oh, that
getting
guy.
there.
Yeah, that guy
Okay.
from Australia. Yeah, I know who he is. He's a nice guy.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, what was
Yeah,
he taken
good for
in by
them.
fucking witness protection program? We're not allowed to talk about him anymore.
I actually think Jacob is in jail right now. So
Well, he is from Australia, and we all know that their ancestors are all criminals. So it's true. Look up Australia's history.
yeah, it's really messed up.
And apparently, I'm an actor because apparently New Zealand doesn't exist. So,
No, it doesn't.
but Matt, what are your feelings about these movies?
I actually know what Bloodshot is. I haven't read any of the comics, but Jason David Frank, was actually the first actor to portray Bloodshot. So that's where I know the character from. I know some JDF fans were a little mad when this film version didn't include him. But he was pretty cool about it. He was like, it's cool to have another actor sort of take it over, and he sort of got the ball rolling. So that's the most I know about that. I'm not really intrigued. I'm not really a huge Vin Diesel fan. Despite what my impression of Take 3 might make people think. I like him well enough, but I'm not a huge and speaking of Vin Diesel, what was it? My Spire? What's the name of the Dave Bautista one?
My Spy, yeah.
It looks like the pacifier with Vin Diesel minus all the charm. Just another one of those like Jackie Chan the Spy Next Door. Or The Game Plan with Dwayne Johnson, just these fucking, we gotta take these cool, awesome guys and put them in a movie with kids. I mean, they've been doing this since the 90s, like Mr. Nanny with Hulk Hogan, like
Kindergarten Cop.
No, that's a good one. Kindergarten Cop and Pacifier are good ones because they focus on the story, and the thing wasn't, ooh, it's funny seeing Hulk Hogan wear a tutu. It was, let's take this hard-edged cop and force him to be a kindergarten teacher, or let's take this Marine and force him to be a babysitter for these kids. Like, that's where the comedy derives from, but it still is a good story and good, well-written comedy, and the actors suit the roles they're asked for. Here it just looks like Dave Bautista. I don't even know what the fuck this guy is doing. And I like Dave Bautista well enough, but like, he's not Arnold. He don't got that charm that Arnold's got. Like, he's great as Drax, but I don't think he's supposed to be this actor Hollywood's trying to make him into. But I digress. What else is there?
I still believe in The Hunt.
I don't know what The Hunt is. I still believe it's one of those Christian films that I won't watch.
Because fuck Jesus, right?
No, I love Jesus. That's actually why I won't watch it, because I don't want to see people continue.
Can I just say something? You know what opened this week? I don't know how many theaters, but like Jesus Rose, that Big Lebowski spin-off, whatever. Yeah, and it's getting bad reviews, so that's.
Oh,
Wait, Jesus Rolls has come out? I thought, what the...
Yeah,
no, but
yeah,
they fucked with the Jesus. Okay?
Probably they open like in 2 theaters, and then they're gonna put it in.
Yeah,
it'll be a wide release at some point later. It's gonna be, it's just these smaller movies. It's like, look, Jay and Silent Bob reboot never got a wide release.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot never got a New Zealand release.
It's these smaller movies. That's just what happens with them.
In fact, even though it's out on DVD, it's still not out yet.
You should tweet Kevin Smith. Maybe he'll come to New Zealand for you.
That'd be great, actually, if Kevin Smith came to New Zealand. But anyway, opening up on March 20, we've just got sort of one major one coming out here. We've got A Quiet Place Part 2. The first Quiet Place is one that I really enjoyed. It's a horror movie I never expected to like. I heard so much about this. it's kind of like it's a modern day silent movie in a way, in which there's barely any dialogue. I don't know if the second one will be different, but we've got Cillian Murphy joining this cast, and so it looks really interesting, and I can't wait. I'm definitely going to go to see this one in the cinemas because apparently, according to PJ Campbell, the first one was great and a cinema experience. So I want to see this one in cinema experience to sort of see if it does work a lot. But Matt, I know your feelings about Hod. Are you going to see this?
I didn't see the first one, so why would I see the second one?
Because John Krasinski directed it.
Yeah, but I didn't see the first one, so why would I start with part 2?
I mean,
Well, we didn't say start with part 2, really.
have you ever watched a porn movie like
A
Hot Asses
porn movie?
Hot Asses number 4? You don't go back to number 1.
What the fuck are you talking about, Abe? Abe, your porn is watching someone go number 2.
I'm not into that. I
Because
don't
you're
even
into shit.
like going to number 2.
But
it's disgusting.
But Abe, are you going to number 2 or part 2 or Quiet Place 2?
Oh, Mongo, if I told you.
Abe, are you gonna like John Krasinski's number 2?
Nah. I have to. I mean, if it's with Emily Blunt, sure. But I have to say, number 1, the first Quiet Place movie, I really enjoyed.
Stop taking the piss out of
it
us,
was
Abe.
one of my favorite movies of the year came out, which, if I'm not mistaken, was 2017, 16, 17, right? 18. No, 18, 2018.
19?
2018. It was the year of Infinity War, and as PJ told you, it was a hell of a cinematic experience. My theater wasn't that full. There were like 20 people because it was early in the morning afternoon when I watched it, and you rarely see a cinema like that quiet. Sure, the movie's called A Quiet Place, but just seeing the people, and I was tense the whole time because there's no noise, and when that noise comes up, like, you really get like relief and kind of scared. I rarely get scared in horror movies, and I'm really excited about this one. I think John Krasinski, if he can deliver like 3/4 of what the first one is, it's still a great movie. So I hope it gets buzz. I'm kind of worried because, if I'm not mistaken, the first Quiet Place reviews came out like, I mean, it's still 20 days away, but came out like a month before the movie. So, I remember why that happened. Because it was released in South by Southwest, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe that's why. But if it started getting buzz earlier, I'm getting way more excited. And it's like studios say we won't compete against this sequel because the first one did so well that they didn't put anything against it. So that tells us how great the first one is.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, Abe. I think the first Quiet Place movie did sneak into the cinemas very quietly, because I think the first trailer sort of was dropped a month before the movie.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember there was sort of no word about Quiet Place, but very shortly before the movie.
Because it opened in April, like middle April, something like that.
Yeah, it opened around the same time as this one's opening, but anyway, and for a sequel that a lot of people were anticipating because they really like the first one, I think it's smart to not have it open up against other things, just like this the week after, because the week after, in March 27, we've got Mulan opening. Matt, what are your feelings about Mulan?
I really want this movie to just come and go. Come on, guys. Seriously? We need another mother effing movie with a woman in charge? Come on. Did you learn nothing from Birds of Prey? No one wants to see women. No, I'm kidding. The trailer's like...
You're gonna get canceled, motherfucker.
Probably. The trailers, yeah, because no one understands sarcasm in this day and age anymore. The trailers look interesting. They're definitely taking it in a different direction. My one kind of gripe is the fact that they removed Mushu because they didn't want to have to deal with all that like magic and stuff, and yet they added this weird witch to the story, which, like, okay, like the Mike and Mushu. They also just released like their reasoning for not having her love interest in the movie. So Disney just being Disney. The trailers look pretty good. It's not a musical as far as I know, but like I'll Make a Man of You has to be in that movie in some way, shape, or form. I don't give a fuck if it's just orchestral. Like that song is one of Disney's best.
That what my mom's best friend told me once. Never happened.
Oh my god! Did she say it? Abe,
No.
let's get down to business to defeat your come.
But I mean, I think they'll find a way to work the songs into the score.
I forget the name of the song that she sings, but they have it kind of orchestrally in the trailers. So it'd be cool if they, not even the whole thing, but if they just sort of, when she shows up to the army, if they sort of just allude to it, in the music, you get like do 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 do.
I mean, yeah, I think they'll find a way to work the songs in it somehow. I mean, this is one that I'm intrigued about, and not because it's directed by a New Zealander in Nikki Caro, but
then why'd you have to say that? Now,
but it's
say it.
But it's one that looks it really does look good, and the fact they're sort of it's a remake, but not a remake in a way, because from what I've heard is they're going straight to the actual poem and just making an adaptation of that poem as opposed to being a direct remake of the animated one.
It's called the retelling or reimagining.
And I, for one, I'm glad Mushu's not going to be in this. He's an annoying dragon. I never used it. I read he was a summon in Kingdom Hearts. I never summoned him or used him at all.
Guys, I'm just saying, you want to talk about canceled? Can we all remember who played Mushu?
Eddie Murphy.
And Eddie Murphy is a comedian. Malcolm hates comedians. Fascinating.
Not true. I like Mark Ellis.
No. If you hate one, you hate them all. That's what the internet has taught me.
Anyway, Abe, what do you think about Mulan?
About the first movie or about this one?
About about this one.
I mean, I don't think those trailers have grabbed my attention at all. I think the film looks like colors doesn't pop at all. I think it's kind of like that. Like there's no color to it. It looks kind of lame in that aspect. I think the story can be interesting. I have to recommend something to the people that want to know like that story of Mulan. There's this beyond the trailer. I know a lot of people don't like Chris Randall, but she did an amazing breakdown of one of those trailers where she tells about what aspects of the trailer seem to be like from the Mulan story and how the colors and everything, and like the symbolisms of the Chinese culture. That's a great video I have to recommend. But sure, I'm gonna watch it honestly because I watch almost everything, as I've said before. I really wanna like that. I don't think we get like those epics anymore, like those Lawrence of Arabia and those. And I think like these kinds of blockbusters can actually kind of go back and take you back to those epic films, which you will consider epics, like those 4 hours. Of course, this is probably gonna be under 2, but yeah, like
so true. We're that era of film where you could see movies like Ben-Hur and Lawrence of Arabia. It's gone now. No one's doing that anymore.
I mean, there's some blockbusters that, like the new James Bond movie, which I guess we're gonna talk later, is gonna be 2 hours and 45 minutes. The Avengers 3 hours, and they're going back to those things, but it's certain blockbusters which really don't come close to the greatness of one of those films.
Oh
which
yeah,
I
no,
mentioned.
no.
But yeah, but now we move into April, and in the first week of April, April the 3rd, we've got The Lovebirds, Peter Rabbit 2, and New Mutants, maybe. I haven't heard anything about it being moved, but with its track record, it hasn't. It's been delayed so many times. But Abe, any movies in here that excite you?
You know, all three of them have some. I have some interest in them. Let's begin with the least one. It's gonna be Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. I actually thought the first one was kind of, for a kids movie, it's really cruel, like really, really, really cruel. Well, it's fun. I don't think like it's that amazing, but I think it's a good film. That a sequel seems like it made money. Like I'll watch that one. Then I'm gonna go with the New Mutants. I guess we're going down. Just a curiosity out of that movie that was supposed to come out 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, right? 2017, and see if they can deliver something good. I wish they can, so we can just get that drama out. And the Lovebirds, Issa Rae. I saw the photograph recently, and I think she's just an amazing. Like I only seen her in that, so and she really caught my eye. She's a great actress. Trailers look really really funny. And what's the name of Kumail Nanjiani? Yeah, right. That's how you pronounce Kumail. The Big Sick, great movie, and it's the same director. If it has like that same kind of humor, I'm into it. The premise seems really interesting, so yeah, I'm really excited about that weekend. Honestly, I'm gonna watch all three.
But yeah, I honestly don't know what the Lovebirds is. But
A romantic comedy.
But yeah, I mean, it's one that I'll probably go see. I'll try to see a lot of the new movies anyway. Peter Rabbit 2. I wasn't a big fan of the first one. I thought it was fine, but
it's really stupid.
But the trailer for the second one, it looks interesting enough that I'm probably going to see this on the big screen. Yeah, and New Mutants, it was on my anticipated movies list 3 years ago when it was supposed to come out. I did then when it was delayed the year after. I put it on my anticipated movies list. Then it got delayed again, so I just gave up putting it on my anticipated movies list. I'm probably going to see this movie. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. It means that it's officially the last Fox X-Men movie that's going to be released, and
there were some rumors that it actually could be connected to the MCU, which I totally doubt because I don't think it's something Kevin Feige will want.
Guys, all you need is just a post-credit scene to connect it.
Well, I mean, from what I've heard is that it's the movie that it's the original cut that they were going to release when it was supposed to come out. So I don't know why it's been delayed so long, but yeah. Opening up the next week on April the 10th, one day before my birthday.
Oh, okay. You didn't ask me about any of my thoughts on these movies.
Matt, what did you think of these movies?
We're gonna before Matt talks, we're gonna talk about birthdays. Mine is the week of Mulan, March 25th. Just saying.
So Peter Rabbit 2. I didn't see the first one, but they got like a lot of the cast coming back, which means one or two things. One, either the whole cast was like, this is a really good script. This should be a lot of fun, or this movie, for whatever reason, has an insane budget. They were able to pay all these people who could be spending their time doing a lot more things. New Mutants. I have no interest. I haven't. And what was the other one?
The low.
The Lovebirds.
The fuck is the Lovebirds?
You guys
It's a
should
movie
watch it.
coming out.
No, you guys should watch those trailers. They're actually really good. Well, the
Abe
trailer
just watched it.
Oh, you would just watch it?
No, fuck, whatever. Go on to the next weekend, Martin.
But opening up the week after on April the 10th, which was one day before my birthday.
Good for you.
We've got the new James Bond movie, No Time to Die. But Abe, what do you think about No Time to Die?
You know, as I mentioned before, the movie's gonna be 2 hours and 43 minutes. If I'm not mistaken, that's the official runtime they have delivered. You know, those James Bond movies always look beautiful. Whatever you want to say in those action sequences, like you can see the money they put into it. Like you say, I can see the $300 million on screen, and that's really good because that's why we audiences want to go to the movies. We want to watch all the money you're spending, and the movies will be look good. But you know, based on the transition, no, on the way the James movies have come out is a good one, a mediocre one, a good one, a mediocre one. Therefore, if we go with that trend, we have a good one in our hands, and I wish it actually is, because Daniel Craig, James Bond, I think it's my favorite. I think he's great in the role. I actually kind of enjoy Spectre, kind of stupid at the end, I have to say, but that silliness and stupidity actually I kind of enjoy in some movies. But yeah, I hope that movie it's good. I'm really excited. Probably gonna watch it in IMAX or Dolby at AMC, just to be engrossed in the film. So yeah, really excited.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's Daniel Craig's last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. From what we've seen from No Time to Die, it looks like a fun movie. And it is Daniel Craig's last outing as Bond. And it's definitely one which could be interesting. I really love Billie Eilish's song for this. I think it's reminiscent of some of the classic Bond ones. I know a lot of people argue like, oh, we need to hear it over the opening credits to see if it's a good one. I really disagree on that, but whatever. But
Can I say something? That watch I haven't heard it because I want to hear it in the credit.
Me too. That's why I haven't listened to it. James Bond songs are meant to go along with the opening credits.
I don't know. I mean, I still love listening to Skyfall when it's not.
No,
when I'm
so
not
do
watching...
I. But I'm saying the first time I listened, like the opening credits go along with the song. It's not like James Bond is one of the last surviving series that still do this like they used to where like nowadays you can have any random pop song and just have like Daniel Craig and like all these fucking names, whereas the James Bond series, like they design the opening with the song and vice versa. So I don't want to listen to the song before I see the images that were designed to go with it, if that makes any sense. That's just the Bond fan I am. I did the same with Skyfall. I didn't listen to Skyfall. I didn't listen to Writings on the Wall. None of those.
I don't know. For me, the Skyfall song doesn't work with the opening credits. I could watch the opening credits for Skyfall and put any random song and just it still works. But yeah, regardless, Matt, what?
What the? Oh, look at that fucking head cock from Malcolm. Regardless, fuck you, Abe, Matt.
Did somebody say cock?
No Time to Die.
That was my grandma said in Cheetah.
Well, I'm not a Daniel Craig Bond guy. He's not. Hashtag not my Bond. Casino Royale and Skyfall are fine films. I just don't like his portrayal of the character.
Great.
The trailers are interesting. They seem like they got an old school feel, which is one I want. So I'm hoping this is a good movie. So I want from the series is quite possibly the James Bond books might be my favorite book series of all time. So I'm a big Bond guy, but Daniel Craig just never cracked it for me. So we'll see. This does pull up an issue of the Daniel Craig Bond, which is like every other fucking movie this guy is like retiring or trying to get out of being James Bond, and looks like that's how we're beginning here. He's not working for MI6. He's retired. Some shit like. Do you really have that tough of a time, man? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones like James Bond may retire a lot of the time, but basically what that tells me is James Bond just has no time to die. But but moving on to the.
Oh my god! No, stop.
But moving on to the next week, and this is where I'm going to break my rules about not mentioning movies opening limited just because of a joke. For a limited time, Abe is opening up in cinemas.
Whoa, Abe! Do not expose yourself at your local theater. You will get arrested.
I mean,
I have a story about that, but I cannot tell it right here. I was on the age at the time.
It's literally he just says.
Yeah,
he just buffalo.
I mean, there is legitimately a movie called Abe opening up in cinemas limited this week, which is why I thought of this as a joke. But anyway, the wide release movies have got Charm City Kings, Trolls World Tour, and Atlas. Matt, any of these movies? What do you think of these movies?
Nope. Won't be going to the movies that weekend.
You just don't like any of them, or just don't know what they do?
Okay, so besides it, I heard Charmed something.
Charm City Kings.
No,
Trolls World Tour.
Another one. Nope. Didn't see the first one. Don't care to.
And Atlas. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the case of I didn't know if you'd seen the first one, which is more.
Yeah,
but
no,
anyway,
no. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm sorry. I just don't go to the movies when I don't want to.
But Abe, what do you think about the movies opening up this week?
I don't know what Charm City Kings is, so I will digress in that one. Anders, that's Scott Cooper. I think he's really good director. I think he's really versatile. I think he can put out perform. We were talking about him. Like I cannot mention him in Gone with the Wind last year that he can really put out performances, and he entering into horror, if I would say so. Which I guess that movie is really interesting because he's a really good director. He hasn't had like a breakthrough movie like in the commercial side of things, if you will call it. I don't think Crazy Heart or Black Mass or any of those like have made more than 100 mil like domestic. So I don't know if Antlers will, but seems interesting. This is one I'm actually excited for. Trolls World Tour. Those damn trailers. Those damn fucking trailers. You put a rock song.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you put a rock song. Any trailer I'm in. Like that's why I love Rock of Ages, cause I have to say those damn songs. And the first one was actually kind of cute and good. So,
but yeah, I just looked up Charm City Kings. It is a movie about a dirt bike club or something. Is what I gathered from the Wikipedia thing I saw. But Trolls World Tour, it looks interesting. I'm probably going to watch the first one at some stage in preparation for this, but yeah, and I don't know too much about Antlers, but I'll probably go see it, see what it is. But that brings us to the week after. We've got opening on April the 24th. We've got a movie called Fatima, Antebellum, and Bad Trip. Abe, what anything about these movies screams out to you?
just to comment, Malcolm, Charm City Kings is a Sundance film, and based on what I'm seeing, has good reviews. So, Antebellum. It stars Janelle Monáe, which I think is so wonderful. She's a great actress. I think she deserves like a role in that one of those big ranges because she's so damn good. And it's also directed by the guy, which I don't know what he has directed, but Janelle Monáe, she's really good. What's the other film? So sorry.
Antebellum and Fatima and Bad Trip.
Fine. Let me check them out because I don't know what they are.
But Matt, have you heard of any of these three movies? And
No, I haven't really heard anything about the movies at all, honestly.
Yeah,
It's Fatima and what else?
Antebellum and Bad Trip.
Bad Trip, that's what I wish I was on every time I got on a Take Free video. But I'm not. I'm always sober.
But anyway, I mean, in this case, it's safe to say we don't know much about these movies if we have to look them up.
I mean, Bad Trip stars Tiffany Haddish with an unknown director. So.
Oh God,
yeah.
I hope this works because her last couple of films, except for I think Girls Trip, they haven't really been hits at all. You guys remember Night School? That movie fucking bombed.
But
there's this film that came out, Like a Boss. That movie is actually, I mean, they didn't make that much money, but she was pretty good in it. That movie was a surprise for me when I watched it.
Was that the movie for Rose Byrne?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailers being like, I like Rose Byrne. I'm so on Tiffany Haddish, but fuck, that movie does not look good.
But yeah, basically those last 2 weeks screaming out to me is that not a lot of studios want to take a chance with James Bond being in theaters.
And that makes sense. Who would? Like you have that series has been running for 50 years, and like Abe said, for as many times as that series can go, like good, bad, good, bad, like people still go to see these movies. And particularly with Daniel Craig being such a popular Bond and this being his last film, there's going to be a lot of people who are like, oh, I need to go and see this in theaters. Particularly with, I think Dolby has also kind of changed stuff because IMAX, like no one wants to wear those big glasses or anything, and Dolby's kind of been the replacement where it's like you get this great theater experience without like you don't have to wear 3D glasses. At least at my theater at that I go to, we have the reclining chairs, so it's awesome. And I love Dolby. I saw Endgame and Rise of Skywalker, and I'm gonna go and see No Time to Die in Dolby
also,
because it's a great theater experience.
Yeah, and it's mad to say James Bond movies like came out like every 4 or 5 years. So I mean, Quantum of Solace was 2 years. So. But like the last ones have come out like 4 or 5 years apart. So it's like they become like kind of an event. I know.
Yeah, they're like what Star Wars used to be. Like Star Wars, and again, I'm not. This is not me crapping on Disney, but Star Wars used to be. You wait 3 years, and the next one comes out. You build up that anticipation, and then it's an event because you know the next one's not going to come out for another 3 years. And we know that since this is the last Bond, it's going to be a couple years until they announce a new Bond and a new Bond franchise.
4 to 5 years, I guess. Unless they already have somebody.
Well, because Die Another Day was 02 or 04. And then
I think it was 02.
Casino Royale was 06. Yeah, I think it was 02. Because then Casino Royale was 06. So that would have been 4 years in between both of them.
But yeah. So those also, I think a lot of students are learning from the mistake they made when Solo came out, and when you had Endgame, Deadpool 2, and Solo literally weeks after each other. But moving on, we go into the month of May. And
we're gonna go for summer too. I'm gonna wait for finishes.
I mean,
yeah,
technically, the first day of summer is June 21st.
Oh, okay, I guess.
well, yeah,
No, let's keep going. I thought we were going for this one. I can keep going. Don't worry.
but basically, a lot of people would argue that the summer movie season kicks off when a big superhero movie kicks off. But I don't know. It's always one of those interesting things. But kicking off on May 1st, we got Black Widow. And that's the only release for May the 1st. Matt, are your feelings on Black Widow?
I think Black Widow is a great character. I think it took Marvel forever to make this movie. Having said that, I'm interested in it. The trailers have the trailers are pretty good. I'm more interested in the cast. I really like that cast that they put together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, particularly with this seemingly being I am most interested to see how this ties into the MCU and sort of how do they deal with Black Widow's current state. Like I'm interested to see where this falls in the timeline. Like, is this it seems like this is pre-Civil War.
The timeline is going to be set between civil from where she sort of leaves off in Civil War, between the end of Civil War and the beginning of Infinity War. They've confirmed that timeline
Interesting.
will be where
I wonder if it gets mentioned in this film at some point how she hooks up with Captain America and Falcon. Not oh god, I'm so sorry. I don't mean like that. How she teams up. How she double teams up with Captain America. I'm so sorry. How she
You're watching
takes
some
it
porn, man.
from Captain America and Falcon.
I think it probably will. I mean, they'll probably cover all the bases with Black Widow. I mean,
does that mean can we get to see Captain America with a beard again? Maybe.
It depends on if Chris Evans was available. But I mean, it's one of those ones. But I mean, there is rumors that we may be seeing Robert Downey Jr. in here as well. Which I don't know if I want to see sort of new footage of Iron Man in that.
Absolutely no. I mean, if they're interacting, that makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, but let's get.
That I think was that it was like a deleted scene from Civil War.
Abe, you're breaking up a lot there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't hear a single word you just said there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes, yeah, you sound better now.
Okay, sorry. The rumor was that the scene, the way Iron Man appears in Black Widow was it was a deleted scene from Civil War, so it's not like new footage. It's like unused footage, which I guess is new because
reusing. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those ones. Like, if anything, if he is there, it'll be in that start. Maybe in a sort of showing a little bit of the end of Civil War. Then they're going to sort of kick it off with the rest of the movie. I mean, but Abe, what do you sort of think about Black Widow?
You know, Malcolm, I haven't been that fan of the trailer. Of course, I'm gonna watch it. I'm the big MCU fan. I really cried when Black Widow died in the Avengers in Endgame. So I really hope the movie is good. I trust Marvel. I think they really hit. I mean, most of them are good from great, honestly. Like there's some misfires, which aren't really misfires because are like in the line of mediocrity, which can feel like more in the positive side than the negative side. But yeah, those really hadn't got me much. I'm happy with Scarlett Johansson that she's finally getting the movie because I read this article a couple of days ago that said that Feige wanted Feige. Oh my god, why can I pronounce Kevin?
Oh my god.
I don't know. Feige. Yeah, I couldn't pronounce his name. I couldn't remember how to pronounce it. Feige. No, that he wanted to do a Black Widow movie after Iron Man 2, and that guy that just run Marvel didn't allow him to. So I think it's good. Like she's finally getting. I think I'll like I don't know 6-7 years way too late, honestly. But I still she's getting it. I don't know if they're planning to do sequels or anything, but at least she's having it.
I mean, depending on because of the time period that it's going to be set in, I don't think we're getting a sequel.
Yeah,
I think
this is a one and done.
I think this is the case of Scarlett just had a movie, one movie left on a contract, and they decide and they do.
What if the movie makes 175 opening week?
I mean, look, if they do a sequel to Black Widow, and if it makes sense based on the events of this movie,
it stars Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser.
I mean,
I fucking watch it. It's called The Mummy 4.
They can go even way earlier, like have her like before Iron Man or something.
Yeah, I think depending on how they do the sequels, because I think that's the only way they can do it is pick another period of Black Widow's life and just do sequels that way. But I personally don't think there needs to be a Black Widow 2, because I think the one thing I want out of this is if they explain all the references to Budapest that I
don't want them to explain that.
That her and Hawkeye have been talking about. But I mean, this is one that I'm really excited about. I've always loved the MCU, and this movie just looks fun. And it's got Florence Pugh, my biggest crush, in this movie. So of course I've got to see it.
Malcolm and Florence sitting in a tree. MCUING.
What?
But yeah. Anyway, moving on to the following week. In March the 8th, May the 8th, we've got The High Note opening up, a movie called Greyhound, which stars Tom Hanks and One. But Abe, what do you think about this bunch of movies?
You only said 3 movies. Isn't it Legally Blonde 3 opening that weekend?
Yeah, I've looked. This is where Wikipedia and Box Office Mojo are not.
Yeah, and the numbers, because I'm looking at the numbers and it says that Legally Blonde is opening that weekend. So
yeah, I looked at that research because I've not even heard that it was a thing.
No, they already shot it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't include it because I don't know if it's opening or where it is, or because I mean the numbers isn't always factually accurate.
Yeah, you're right. There's like 6 wide releases there, and like none of them has trailers. Yeah, the only one that has a trailer was The High Note, which actually came out right now, like today. None of them will see anything, so I cannot comment on anything. Only in The High Note. It just looks kind of fun, honestly. But
yeah,
on the Greyhound, Legally Blonde 3, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, if Legally Blonde 3 is, I think if there was another new Legally Blonde coming out in a few months, we would have found something about it by now. But
no,
Matt,
I know the movie has been shot. It's just that where is it? Why watch anything?
It's probably not been edited or something. As I said, I'm only did the ones that was on the Wikipedia page for coming out this year and kind of correlated with Box Office Mojo, and that actually. But anyway, Matt, aside from the discussion about is Legally Blonde 3 coming out or not, what are your feelings on the movies actually potentially opening up this weekend?
I got so there's a movie with Tom Hanks apparently. I wonder what it is. That's kind of it.
But yeah,
It's called
like,
Greyhound. It's a war
yeah,
drama. It stars Elizabeth Shue and Stephen Graham.
but yeah, I mean, I talked about the high note earlier today because we were talking about the trailers. It looks good. There's not much more to say about it. And we talked about Run last week with the trailers.
Oh, I wanted to comment on that one. We'll continue. Oh, I saw the trailer. I think it looks wonderful. Like, is a writer from Searching. I know you love Searching. So if it
Yeah,
has this that media on the script, I think it can be a great movie. And it stars Sarah Paulson, which is an incredible actress, and I think she can pull it off. And Kieran Allen, which I think I know the name, and she's a good actress if I'm not
Karen
mistaken.
Allen. She was Marion in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yeah, that's why I know her name. But Ron, like, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
but
Excited for that
yeah,
one. And the other ones I have no idea.
opening up the week after we've got Spiral, a Saw story, the Woman Window, and Scoob. Abe, what are your feelings on these movies?
Malcolm, I have to say, this year I'm excited about good amount of films, but based purely in trailers because there's some Oscars films that have the potential to come out, which will be number one before this one. But I have to say that Scoop trailer, man, I cried as a bitch when I went. And there's nothing being a bitch and crying, or a man, or whatever you want to say. You progressive people, which you're right. We should progress as a society. But I cry as a little boy, or girl, or man, or woman. I don't care. That Scoop trailer is the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life, and I need to watch the film now because I wanted to cry. My dog died like a week before that movie came out, and it just hit me. You know, I miss my dog. He's dead now. What am I supposed to do? Every time I see a picture of him, I kind of cry. But you know, it's fine. The woman in the window, it's Amy Adams. I love Amy Adams. She's probably one of my favorite. She's probably my favorite actress. Uh, and you know, came out in May. That movie was supposed to come out last year. Like, I hope it's good, but you know, that seemed like it seemed on paper like an Oscar film or something that can focus on her performances. But if I'm not mistaken, it's Tate Taylor directing it. I don't know if you know the director, Malcolm, at the top of your head.
Not off the top of my head, no.
No, but it's Tate Taylor, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Right here. And Spiral, that trailer, that Saw trailer look amazing. So I'm really excited about that weekend. I didn't. I mean, I knew they were coming out, but like I didn't know like all three of them were coming out the same weekend. So that's gonna be a good weekend if all of them can deliver.
Yeah. Matt, what are your feelings on the three movies opening up this week?
The only one I really know
It's Joe Wright, sorry.
is Scoob. So true to that. It actually looked pretty good. I'm a Scooby Doo fan, so I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna be rushing out to the theater to see it, but I'll definitely get around to seeing it. It looks like it has a good sense of humor about it, and Mark Wahlberg is supposed to be playing a superhero in it. So
your microphone, you're sounding kind of weird. We can listen to you, but you sound kind of weird.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, all good.
Okay.
We hear what you say, just not in the best quality.
Sorry. Scoob. I'm not sure I'm running out to the theater to see it, but I'll definitely get around to seeing it. It looks funny, and Mark Wahlberg plays a superhero in it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he plays the Blue Falcon or whatever. I looked on IMDb because I was wondering who the voice of Fred was, which is Zac Efron, and then I was like, and then I saw Mark Wahlberg was in there. I was like, oh, cool. And Amanda Seyfried is Daphne.
Can we
and I thought she had that really funny line where they were like talking about what the thief or whatever stole, and it's like, is the killer my dad? I was like, you know what, that made me laugh. Chuckle.
Can we agree those first two Scooby-Doo movies, that live action, are the best thing that ever happened to society?
Yeah, probably.
I love them as a kid. They're so great. They're so.
Oh, I love them too. Okay, but there's two types of people. Which is the better one?
I think number two.
Oh, number two. Thank you. Number two. Yes. Thank you.
I've been talking about the cast, and it's a really stacked cast.
It is, which means it makes me think that it's a really good script because a lot of these people didn't need to sign on to a Scooby Doo movie.
Yeah, well, because I mean, you've got the one that I'm really probably going to be looking at and hoping that his impersonation of Shaggy is good because they're not getting Matthew Lillard back, who's really annoyed about it. Apparently,
He was when it first was like the cast was announced.
yeah, but
but like Freddie Prinze and Sarah Michelle, Linda Cardellini.
Yeah, but the thing is Matthew Lillard has been voicing Shaggy and Scooby Doo stuff since the movies, whereas like Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar, they haven't had anything to do with the series except for the Robot Chicken sketches.
I didn't know that story.
Yeah. Because we've got Wolf Forte from The Last Man of Earth as Shaggy, with Ian Armitage from Young Sheldon playing the young Shaggy voice, Gina Rodriguez from the Virgin show, Jane the Virgin is playing Velma, Mark Wahlberg's Blue Falcon, Ken Jeong is Dynamite, the Dog Wonder. Tracy Morgan is Captain Caveman. Kirsty Clemens is Dee Dee Sykes. And Jason Isaacs, best known for Lucius Malfoy,
No. He's best known for being the scientist in Armageddon. But continue.
His better movie role is
the scientist in Armageddon. But continue.
Is playing Dick Dastardly. That's the one that really intrigues me. And from what I've heard, is I think that you're going to get a lot of cameos from other Hanna-Barbera characters in this movie as well, which really excites me.
The Hanna-Barbera extended universe begins here.
And also, I mean, I've already talked about Spiral before, but when the trailer came out, but the movie looks good, and I'm going to see it because I love the Saw movies. Then the week after, we've got a couple of movies opening up. We've got a great documentary about a computer keyboard, a computer key F9, and we've got Sponge on the Run coming out. Abe, what do you think about F9 and Sponge on the Run?
I didn't got the joke. You forgot Fast and Furious.
You mean that joke that I made first? But all right.
Okay, I just want to say SpongeBob movie. I think the first two movies Paramount has done are really cool. Actually, my friends and I we went to the first one and we were laughing our asses off, and everybody was quiet. So, and we were 19, 20, 18 at the time. So, I guess I'm there for that one. F9. Those Fast and the Furious movies are the closest we get to those stupid action movies from the 80s. And I'm really happy with 90s, 80s. Like, they just went all balls deep, for lack of a better term. Like, they go all the way. And they do it. And it has Charlize Theron coming back. It has Vin Diesel, John Cena. John Cena playing... Look, the logic of these movies doesn't make sense at all. Because Toretto is this badass now and he was a cat, and now he has a brother that has been training his whole life to kill him. And he
was a goddamn auto mechanic who did street racing. That was what he was.
Justin Lin coming back, that's a nice thing. He was the one that put Fast and the Furious like in the top, so on where it is now, so it's nice to see him coming back, and I think he's gonna direct the next one too. So that's really cool.
But Matt, what are your thoughts on F9 and Sponge on the Run?
I didn't see the last SpongeBob movie. I saw the first one that came out in 2004, and that's a great movie.
SpongeBob
on the Run isn't a sequel to SpongeBob. Don't know what else it'd be. Malcolm just gave me a look like I was talking about SpongeBob, even though it wasn't. And then yeah, F9. I've never seen a single Fast and Furious movie, so I have. Hey, get the fuck off of my. Hey guys, it's Vin Diesel. Don't listen to Matt. He's not adjusted, but I'm here to tell you that F9 is a story about family, and my brother is played by John Cena, and with family, Michelle Rodriguez and me, we're married. We got a kid, so you know what we are, family. So it's a family picture that's R rated because family sometimes gets dark and scary and spooky. But yeah, so everyone go and see it when it comes
You're
out.
cutting
Get
out.
the fuck out of my house, weirdo. Sorry.
It's all good. But I'll say it was so weird hearing Vin Diesel's voice come out of Harrison Ford's face.
Vin Diesel, yeah. Yeah.
Let me
Whatever.
call my friend Speedy Gonzalez.
What? Abe, Speed Gonzalez is racist to Mexicans, okay? We
You know,
need to
there's
stop him.
No, I know. This story about like people being mad at Speedy both Warner Bros. And like all that how Mexicans were stereotyping that, and Mexicans actually said, no, we're not. Like we're fine with it. It's
We
funny.
like Speed Gonzalez.
Yeah, we actually like that because we have like sense of like
It was
that.
the
So
best story in the world. It was this group of people who weren't Mexican be like, Speed Gonzalez is racist and Mexicans hate it. And the real Mexicans were like, no, it's a cartoon character. We don't give a fuck.
yeah, like we can laugh at ourselves. I wasn't gonna call Speedy Gonzalez because I don't even remember his voice. But go ahead, Mo.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, we talked about F9 and length when that trailer came out. It looks like a fun trailer. It looks strange, and I'm probably going to go see it and lap up all the strangeness. And SpongeBob the One looks interesting. It's an interesting counter programming for Fast and for F9, and it's one that could be good. But and then on to the last week of May, and that's the last weekend we're talking about. We've got a movie called Irresistible, Artemis Fowl, and The Green Knight all coming out. And I don't know much about The Irresistible, but because I haven't seen a trailer, I just don't know much about that movie. But Artemis Fowl is one that I'm really looking forward to this thing, because I really love the book that it's based on, and I really hope it's done justice, because you got people like Judi Dench in this movie, I think, plus a whole bunch of other great notable actors, and it's directed by Kenneth Branagh. It's just a movie that I think's good. I think there's been one trailer released for it, but I'm expecting we're probably going to get another one at some stage. And the Green Knight, it looks like a fun movie. We did talk about the trailer when that initially came out. But Abe, what are your feelings about the movies in the last week of May?
Irresistible is a movie directed by Jon Stewart. It's about, I think, I remember the trailer. It stars Steve Carell, and based on what I'm saying, it's Mackenzie Davis, Rose Byrne. I remember the trailer. I thought the trailer was fine. It stars Steve Carell. He's one of my favorite actors, honestly. Like before The Office, I just watched The Office these couple of months, so I can tell you that he was one of my favorite actors before that. So he plays a supporting role. What that it is, it's actually about Democrats, and I remember reading the comments and all people like, oh, right-handed people in America were like shitting on it. Artemis Fowl. I really wanted to watch it last year. I was like, this Kenneth Branagh, I think he's a really capable director, really, because he was coming up from Murder on the Orient Express, which came out in 2017,
Yeah.
2018. He had come out from that one, so I wanted to watch it. Like, I wanted to watch his material, if I would say so, like on May, but on August. It was supposed to come out first week of August, and we didn't see it. But yeah, that one. And the Green Knight trailer was fine. It's A24. They sometimes come with interesting stuff. It has a stacked cast: Dave Patel, Alicia Vikander, Joe Edgerton. So yeah, I think it's an interesting movie.
And
There's something for everybody. It's a long weekend.
and Matt, what are your feelings about the movies opening up on last weekend of May?
I don't think I've seen any of the trailers for these. I don't know what the fuck Artemis Fowl is, so I think I'll stay home that weekend.
But yeah, that brings us to the end of the main topic. It's definitely an interesting spring season because like in other springs, we get a lot of big movies opening up. There's a few weeks in which there just seem to be really nothing, and then some weeks then there was about multiple big ones opening. It's just an interesting spring movie season this year. But to close off the show, because why not? I'm going to close off with a game. And this is a game I decided to. It's not so much a game, but it's just a fun thing I decided to throw in here. I call this the. I know A will be familiar with this because Manning did it on Gone with the Wind at one stage, but I call it the should they have gotten an Oscar. So what I've done is I've taken an actor who only got their first win this year, and I went back his other nominations, and so I'm going to go on what he was nominated for and who he was up against, and then I'm going to you guys to say whether you think he should have won the Oscar that year, or if you think someone else or the person that won deserved it. So yeah, I mean, but the actor that I chose for this is Brad Pitt. So his first nomination he got was for supporting actor in 12 Monkeys. And that year, Kevin Spacey won supporting actor, and also nominated was James Cromwell from Babe, Ed Harris from Apollo 13, and Tim Roth from a movie called Rob Roy. Matt, should Brad Pitt have won over Kevin Spacey?
No. If anyone should have won over Kevin Spacey, which I believe Kevin Spacey won for 7 that year.
Usual Suspects.
Usual Suspects is one of those two. If anyone should have won over him, it would have been Ed Harris in Apollo 13. And I like 12 Monkeys, and I think Brad Pitt gives an insanely good performance, but it's a little bit too showy for me, whereas Ed Harris, I think, should have won in general, because I thought he was just so good in Apollo 13. And I apologize when I said it, because I think what Brad Pitt did in 12 Monkeys is really, especially when you're first introduced to him in the mental institution, it's so unnerving, and that's what it's supposed to be. But I just think Ed Harris gave the best supporting performance of that year.
Somewhere out there, Paul Denuzio is excited at the.
Oh yeah, Paul. And that has nothing to do with it, but Paul might have drove down from upstate New York and beat the shit out of me if I didn't say that.
But Abe, should Brad Pitt have won over Kevin Spacey this year at the Oscars?
It's 1995, right?
1995, 96 Oscars.
Kevin Spacey is a predator.
No, I don't think so. I think Kevin Spacey really, really crushed that performance. I'm not that fan of that movie, and I think it comes down that I knew the twist before it, so it doesn't affect you as much because when I watched it, I was like, "Oh, he's the villain," and that's why he's saying that. In that final scene, like I guess when people were actually watching it, like they were like, "Oh, this happened," but yeah, no, I think Spacey was well deserved. Yeah, he's a great actor. Whatever we want to say about him as a person, like whatever, but like he's an extremely capable actor. He has it. He has something
Uh,
not many. He likes children.
but then we jump ahead 13 years to
Can we just
2009.
stop and say Brad Pitt should have been nominated for Fight Club and probably won?
I
98,
just
right?
99.
I mean, the year Fight Club was
Uh,
99.
Yep, Fight Club 99. It was the year. It was that year with Matrix and a
Yeah,
couple other
no.
movies. But
Will
yeah,
he be nominated as leading or supporting? Who won
probably
supporting that year?
supporting. Norton
Who
would
wants-
have been leading. He probably would have been leading
I think there's a case for him
as
being
leading.
as leading. Yeah,
But it's the same thing as like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Was he supporting or leading?
he was support for Once Upon a Time in
But
Hollywood.
that's where I'm coming
Yeah.
from. Is they gave him supporting. So
What I was about to say is, in the case of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think it's a case of they didn't want the chance of him and Leo being in the same category. I think there's a strategy nomination for supporting than he was actually supporting in that movie.
I think we can all agree that Brad Pitt is a character actor in a leading man body.
Fun fact. I mean, I'm going to assume that he would have been put in for lead actor. Fun fact. Do you guys know who won lead actor in that year?
no.
Wait, 1999. What movies came out that year?
Well, it would have been 2000. It would have
The
been
2000 awards, but for the 99 movie season.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Don't tell me.
We've already
Oh,
mentioned
Kevin Spacey, American Beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I saw American Beauty. Fucking Brad Pitt is like 1,000 times better in Fight Club than Kevin Spacey is.
Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. That
uh,
movie's incredible. That movie is one of the best of the 90s. I don't care what everybody says.
Yeah, no, Fight Club is one of the best.
I
Sorry,
mean,
they had a fucking bag on a camera floating by.
I mean, I agree that Kevin Spacey should have won Best Actor that year, hands down. And I don't think Brad would have won over him for American Beauty.
No shit. Hey, guys, look. The two people on the Oscars show agree with the Oscars, and the guy who was only invited once doesn't agree with the Oscars. Coincidence? I think fucking not.
Twice.
What I was about to say is,
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Looking at the other nominations that was in lead actor that year, I could see a case that Brad Pitt should have been nominated at least this year, because the other nominees was Russell Crowe, Richard Farnsworth, Sean Penn, and Denzel Washington.
The thing with Fight Club, like a lot of people regard it like as this great movie, and it actually is. Like David Fincher is just incredible director. I think there's no question with that. But Fight Club wasn't that. I mean, it wasn't a bomb, but it wasn't that much of a hit. And the story of Fight Club is like when critics were like going back to do their top 10 list of.
Fight Club was never going to get nominated for Oscars because it was not a movie that the Academy likes, because it was a movie that was literally like, look, all these structures need to be torn down. And that
David Fincher, and also David Fincher wasn't an Oscar director that you will also until well, we're gonna talk about that, but The Curious Case of Benjamin Button until 2008.
It's you also look at who was in the cast.
No, them were in the.
You had Ed Norton, you had Brad Pitt, you had Helmut Bonham Carter, a bunch of people who, they're famous now, but like Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt and Edward Norton were not who they are today when they
Edward Norton was this really, really great actor that everybody was talking
Brad
about.
Pitt, probably when Fight Club came out, even with the Oscar nomination, he was probably still most known for Thelma and Louise. Like, honestly, he was probably most known for that.
But anyway, moving on to 2009, we're going to talk about it right now. He was nominated for lead actor for Benjamin Button.
Never saw the movie.
Sean Penn from Milk won that year. Also nominated we had Richard Jenkins from The Visitor, Frank Langella for Frost Nixon, and Mickey Rourke for The Wrestler. Abe, should Brad Pitt have won the Oscar this year?
No. And I don't even think Sean Penn should have won that year. I think it's Mickey Rourke for The Wrestler. I don't have anything else to ask. His performance stuck by himself. He's just incredible. That film.
Yeah,
No. No.
I agree with you. Mickey Rourke should have won it for The Wrestler, hands down. Matt, what about you?
I didn't see Curious Case of Benjamin Button, so I can't speak on if he should have won or not. But I agree, Mickey Rourke probably should have won for fucking. And Milk's not a terrible movie, but it's such a give me that Oscar.
But then we go fast.
Milk?
Yeah, Milk. He won it for Milk.
He had that was his second one. He had a
it's the second one. He already had a fucking Oscar, which he shouldn't have gotten in the first place. Bill Murray should have won for Lost in Translation that year.
Oh no way, Jose! No way, Jose!
Oh,
Jose! We're gonna fight about this. Okay?
Oh, all right.
But But anyway, we're gonna fast forward 3 years to the next one. I'm pretty sure Matt hasn't seen this movie, but he was nominated for lead actor for Moneyball. He lost to I'm going to butcher this name. He lost to Jean Dujardin from The Artist. Also nominated was Damien Bircher from A Better Life, George Clooney from The Descendants, and Gary Oldman from Tegan Taylor Soldier Spy. This is one that I haven't seen Moneyball yet. It's on my list to see it eventually. So I can't say if he should have won or not this year, but I actually think Gary Oldman should have won over The Artist, because I think he was great in Tinker Tailor. But yeah, Matt, should Brad Pitt have got the Oscar for Moneyball?
Yes, he should have. His performance ability is layered. It's fantastic. It's not super showy, and that's what's great about it. It's a great character. It's a great, subtle, understated arc, and Pitt is fantastic in it. If he didn't win, I think Clooney should have won, because I think Descendants is a fantastic movie people don't talk nearly enough about, and I think The Artist is overrated. Fucking the Academy loves these types of movies. Ugh, sorry. I didn't like the Artist when I first saw it, and then it swept all these Oscars, and I was like, Moneyball is clearly a superior film, and Pitt should have won, but he didn't speak French, so whoops.
I've been talking about the Academy loving movies about Hollywood. We fast forward 8 years to this
What
year.
about me?
Yeah, what the hell?
Abe, should Brad Pitt have won for Moneyball?
Hi, my name is Sucket. I'm a Sucket. No, I want to give you an opinion. I think Brad Pitt shouldn't have won that year. I think that should have been George Clooney for The Descendants. People were too afraid because he just had won it 3 years ago for Syriana as a supporting actor. So you can suck it. And, John Dujardin, he dances through the whole movie. It's a physical performances, which is so well done. But he shouldn't have won before Brad Pitt. I'm really going to try to do this before in every fucking show. So my name is Suck It, and I'm a suck. Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Okay. No, I have to have a suck every time.
But yeah, we fast forward another big gap to 2020, in which he finally won his Oscar for supporting in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Also nominated was Tom Hanks for Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins for Two Popes, Al Pacino and Joe Pesci both for The Irishman. Matt, should Brad Pitt have won for Hollywood?
Fuck yes. Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was my favorite performance of 2019. I think it was a great role. I think he deserved that Oscar.
Abe, should Brad Pitt have won for Hollywood?
Look, I'm so happy he won. It's a hell of a performance. He's number 2 in my list. Like, no, number 1 in the nominations, but like number 2 in any supporting performance from that year. And that's Shia LaBeouf for Honey Boy, which everybody should watch. It's in Amazon Prime right now, so you should watch it. I'm gonna keep saying that until the end of my days.
I thought Shia LaBeouf. I wish Shia LaBeouf would have gotten nominated for Peanut Butter Falcon.
Man, really, I'm gonna tell you, if you have time like this weekend or anything, watch Honey Boy.
I really want to see Honey Boy. I wanted to see it since the trailer.
Yeah, it's 90 minutes, so you're gonna be.
Oh, really?
Like, you can.
Great. Yeah.
So,
I'll probably check it out then.
But yeah, I think Pete, like, due to Shia not being there, like, I was rooting for him. I think he's just that incredible in the movie. It's one of those that are so fucking deserved. Lacking Shia LaBeouf for me, but still, like, I think that's where he should have won it, and he actually did. Because that performance is his career, like, in a nutshell, not like he being a big actor or anything, but he's really a supporting actor in a leading man's body. And that's me. I think Brad Pitt as a foil, like you see it in the Ocean's movie, you see it like in Seven playing up. I mean, he's kind of the lead, but like Morgan Freeman really balances out. He and Thelma and Louise is his first big role, if you will say, and everything. I think he shines more in that those kind of performances more than what he's like as when he's leading. So yeah, I'm happy for that, and I think he should have won. Like, out of the pack, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I've said my thoughts about Hollywood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood many times. I've still got to. I will give it a rewatch because see if I feel different about the movie. But I wasn't a big fan of this. But looking at the other nominees for this one, I don't have a problem with Brad Pitt winning over the people that were nominated. I mean, I didn't like The Irishman. I thought that was a boring slog. And
I will not react to anything Malcolm says about the
Nor shall I.
And Two Popes was just fine. And I haven't seen A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. But yeah, that brings us to the end of another episode of Late Night. Matt, where can people find you online?
First, I want to say that was a really fun game. I hope we can play it again. Second, you can find me on Twitter at Kearns_Matthew, MattMovies611 on YouTube, and right here as host of Second Look. New episode in the works on the unofficial Superman trilogy of Man of Steel, Batman, Superman, and Justice League. It's still in the works. I can't guarantee it's gonna come out this month. It will come out before the end of March, which means Rocky 3 is going to be pushed again. Just know that the reason for this is it's a little bit more of an undertaking than most of my episodes of Second Look, but it's coming together. I'm really happy with it, and I don't want to rush it. So yeah, you can also catch me tomorrow on Rankum. So I'm excited about that.
Abe, where can people find you online?
You can follow me on Twitter at AbrahamF25. You can follow me on Instagram at AbrahamFortis25. You can watch Gone with the Wind every Sunday, where me, Manning, Malcolm, and Ryan talk about the Oscars. We're gonna go bi-monthly next couple of weeks, but we're still wrapping up 2019 season, Oscar season, if you will say so. If you have a Facebook and you want to add me, please do not. I don't care about my life. About your life, and you shouldn't care about mine either. I don't know why you should care about me. You know, I don't care about you. Really, I don't.
Oh my god!
And you can find me on Take 3 hosting late night as I do every Friday night, usually around 8:30. You can also find me hosting Rankum every for Saturday, and it's on at 8:30. And topic is top 12 sci-fi movies of the 90s. It's going to be fun, and there's already guaranteed to be a couple of hot takes.
Oh yes.
But yeah, and you can find me on Full Metal Random, hosting trivia matches on the Full Metal channel. This week's match is a match all about the fan leagues. I will have some secret surprises.
Who's playing that match?
It's Jake Marangoni, Michael Campbell, and Brooklyn Vale.
Me and Abe better have some questions about ourselves in there.
You have to put a question about me.
Hmm.
Who was the first editor of the fan leagues? No, ask this question. What was the first match Abe ever edited for the fan leagues? That's a question. I
Who
don't
was one of the
remember, but that's a
original
question.
top contenders of the fan leagues, as well as one of the original runners and writers?
But yeah, but
Who tell a guy to die for a trivia
Oh,
match?
fuck. God damn it, Abe.
Who
But
took
Eddie-
credit for everything he did? Which I'm not a.
but anyway, until next week, we shall see you on the other side when the sun shines.
Thank you, Frank, be gone.